What you're about to witness is a national news reporter for News Nation named Evan Lambert get a first-hand taste of how the police really feel about journalists and members of the media.
Yes, you want me to file charges on you right now? Go ahead. I am allowed to be here. Did you not see that man put his hands on shut it down and continued on? Go.
Now.
Go. Now.
Or you can go to jail.
Sir.
You want to go to jail for criminal trespassing?
Listen.
Do you want to go to jail for criminal trespassing? Do you understand?
You know how quickly our lawyers will get me out?
I don't care.
Sir, can we
I don't
talk?
care.
Just talk outside. Let's talk outside.
Go.
Just talk outside. Come on,
Out the
outside.
doors. Out the doors. Out the doors. By other media right here. I'm going to listen.
I don't
because
care.
it's my
You're going to
job.
walk out the door.
I'm going to listen.
You're going to walk
Do
out
not
the door.
touch
Come
me.
on out, sir.
You're going to walk out the door, or you're going to jail.
Do not touch me.
Sir, can we talk outside,
I
please?
am trying to
Can we talk
listen.
outside, please?
And he escalated with me. I am doing my job. This is covered by the First Amendment.
Excuse me, sir.
So Lambert was covering a presser from Ohio Governor Mike DeWine about the train derailment in East Palestine, Ohio, and was apparently being too loud during his live report. And as you can see, he will be forced out of the presser despite ending his live segment just before the situation really kicked off.
I'm the building supervisor here. Please leave.
There you have it.
You're going to stand outside.
You are strong.
Or you're going to jail.
Let's go. Let's go.
Come on, out. Out. Out the door. Out the door. Yeah, you're under arrest. Under arrest.
Oh, sir.
Oh my God! You guys, this is bad. Stop.
I am on the ground. What are you trying to do? Okay,
Stop resisting. Stop this.
arrest.
Oh my God! Stop. You want to get this? This is so bad.
Put your leg behind your back.
You guys,
Lay
put your
flat.
hands back.
Lay flat, please.
You guys, he's a national correspondent. You cannot do this.
I'm a reporter with News Nation. It's all being recorded right now.
I hope it is. This is
Excessive
horrible.
force because you can't talk to people about doing their jobs.
Oh my God! I cannot believe this.
What's that?
This is horrible.
This is what it's like to be a black reporter in 2023.
Evan, I'm so sorry. Evan, I'm sorry.
Thank you, Sia.
Roll over, sir.
After Lambert is wrestled to the ground and taken away from the presser, his producer steps in to talk to the police, and here's how they justify Lambert's arrest.
Let me stop you.
Yeah, but what I'm saying, please, go ahead.
Let me stop you.
I'm just
The
really
reason why,
upset.
I understand that. The reason why he is where he is, he was told to leave, he refused to leave.
Okay.
Then the building superintendent comes over and says, I don't want you here.
Okay.
He still refused to
I
leave.
didn't
So now
witness
he's arrested.
I didn't witness any of that.
That's his own fault he's arrested. All he had to do was type up.
I didn't.
And he just kept on arguing
All
with us.
I'm telling you is from the television standpoint of what
I understand what
it's
you're
just-
trying to do.
it's
I understand
television.
you guys have a
It's
job
just-
to do.
Yeah.
But when he's told to leave
understand.
by law enforcement,
I
he does not.
can't speak to that.
That's an
But
issue.
what I thought I might just be able to give you some insight on
I understand.
from my
No, I understand you guys have a job to do.
It's just.
I get it, but when you're told to step out and it even gets to the point where the building superintendent's coming over and saying, you need to leave.
I understand.
In case you didn't know already, this is part of the story that Lambert was covering. A massive chemical spillage from a southern Norfolk train derailment that has contaminated the local area with dangerous chemicals and is an ongoing crisis as we speak. And we are learning the exact chemicals being transported by the train and their hazardous effects have on humans and wildlife in the area in real time. And so far, things are really not looking good. Lambert was released from police custody later that day, and even was defended by Governor DeWine, saying that it has always been my practice that if I'm doing a press conference, someone wants to report out there and they want to be talking back to the people back on channel, whatever, they have every right to do that, which, by the way, is protected by the freaking Constitution. But DeWine would continue. If someone was stopped from doing that or told they could not do that, that was wrong. It was nothing that I authorized. I'm doing fine right now, Lambert said after his release. It's been an extremely long day. No journalist expects to be arrested when you're doing your job. And I think that's really important, that doesn't happen in our country. During the accident, 38 rail cars derailed, and an additional 12 cars were damaged by a fire, according to the National Transportation Safety Board. Of the 20 hazardous material cars in the train, half derailed, the company said. 5 of those cars were carrying vinyl chloride, a gas used to make plastic, which the Norfolk Southern Railway Company then released in a controlled burn on February 6. The EPA can put out whatever they like, but I think one of the biggest things here is what we have seen on other social media platforms, and I'll tell you. This is just my own personal opinion. But as I try to get the news of what's going on the ground, seeing what happened to Mr. Lambert and potentially other journalists and reporters that are trying to cover this story, the biggest activism is being done by the locals. Ever since the Musk takeover of Twitter, I have seen some news. I haven't seen the news, I'm going to be honest with you, that I have seen through TikTok and what the locals upload to TikTok. They are showing so much dead fish. How some of the filters may be malfunctioning, or it could just be a charade to say, look, we're trying. There are so many different angles of this story that really get to me. One is obviously the press. We're protected under the Constitution. So what those officers did was violate our constitutional rights. Will they lose their jobs? Probably not. Probably not. We've covered so many stories at this point. We know what's going on. We know how cops are protected left and right. Out of anything, they may get a promotion. On top of this, another thing that really gets me is these railway workers tried organizing. They tried. And you know who stopped them? A lot of politicians on either side of the aisle because they are protecting their donors. If that does not infuriate you, I don't know what will. Some of these railways, and experts said, were basically reminiscent of the Civil War. That is how outdated our infrastructure is. Yet, you know what we should really be arguing about? Trans kids running cross country. That's a big one. Climate change is affecting everyone, not just in this country, but in the world. And yet, a great substitute to that would be trains. Yet when many try organizing that the infrastructure is old, that we need improvements, you know who shot it down? Those who own the trains. Because all they want to do is make profits over and over and over again. And now what happened? Some reports are saying they basically blew up a track and is affecting an entire town where some are calling it a mini Chernobyl that could reach, and according to some reports, has reached Pittsburgh. All because they wanted to save money. Norfolk Southern, shame on you. The politicians that are taking money from these companies in donations, shame on you for shooting down this legislation. I am also flabbergasted. I know I'm going off here, but I am flabbergasted at, so many that are like American pride, American courage. You know what makes America really great is when we question it. Dissent is patriotism. Questioning why the rails are so outdated, why these workers were striking, why they want protections, why they should be allotted protections, why they should get a few days off a year. Look at who shot it down. You'd be surprised. This is more than just a journalist getting arrested story. This is an American story. And the corruption of money in politics.